Black woman thrown out of her own mansion. Minutes later, she leaves them speechless. Before we dive in this story, hit the comments and tell us your city or country. Let's see how far this story reaches. If you like the video, please subscribe. She stepped onto her front lawn, groceries in hand, only to find strangers unloading furniture into her mansion. Confused, she approached, but the security guard shoved her back. "Owners only," he muttered, but she was the owner. Still, they laughed, whispered, and called the police. She watched from the sidewalk as her entire life was erased in real time, not by law, but by assumptions. How could a black woman possibly own that house? What happened next silenced everyone. Watch until the end to see how she turned the tables. For years, Dr. Aaliyah Monroe had worked in silence, grinding through med school, opening her clinics, and building a name in the world of private medicine. She didn't flaunt her wealth. She was soft-spoken, elegant, and preferred quiet over attention. Her dream was simple, a home she could retreat to after long days of helping others. She finally bought her dream mansion, an estate with historic charm and modern upgrades in an upscale, predominantly white neighborhood. She'd only been living there a month. That morning, she left to grab groceries. The sun was shining, her mind was on what wine to pair with dinner. But when she returned, nothing could have prepared her for what she saw. A moving truck in the driveway, strangers on her porch, and a security guard she didn't recognize. Something was off, and when she tried to step into her own house, her nightmare began. The guard didn't ask her name. He didn't check an ID. He blocked her path and said, "Private property." Aaliyah, stunned, calmly explained this was her home. She pulled out her keys, showed her license, same address, same woman. But instead of an apology, she got smirks. The movers rolled their eyes. One whispered, "She probably cleans for them." Another muttered, "No way she owns this." When she tried to take a step closer, the guard pushed her back harder, as if she were a threat. And then the police arrived. She watched the neighbors peek through their blinds. None came out. None spoke up. Officers approached her with suspicion, asking her to prove ownership as if she were trespassing. Even after showing them the deeds from her phone and receiving a call from her lawyer, they insisted she wait outside until the matter was sorted. Inside, the new residents, a wealthy white couple, claimed the house was theirs, that they had just bought it yesterday from the listing agent. Aaliyah's heart raced. She never sold anything. There was no listing. This had to be a setup. But still, the officers listened to the couple with ease, nodding along, while she stood on her front lawn, treated like an intruder. She felt invisible, humiliated, angry. But what no one knew was that Dr. Aaliyah Monroe didn't just own that house. She owned the real estate firm that sold it, and the people inside were about to find out. A black SUV pulled up moments later, sleek, tinted, quiet. Out stepped a sharply dressed woman in heels and a blazer. She walked with purpose, speaking calmly into her AirPods. That was Aaliyah's assistant. Within seconds, 2 attorneys and the actual director of the property division joined her. The fraudulent sale was exposed, entirely fabricated by a corrupt agent who was now unreachable. The couple caught red-handed. The officers' faces drained of color as document after document was shown. The police stepped back. The couple panicked. The movers stopped cold. Aaliyah, still silent, walked past them all, head high, keys in hand, not a word spoken. She didn't need to shout. She owned everything. And in that moment, they all realized she wasn't just the owner of the house. She was the one who signed their checks. The couple was escorted out. The agent was arrested. And the officers? Publicly reprimanded after the footage went viral. But for Aaliyah, the damage lingered. Not in her house, but in the assumption that a black woman couldn't possibly own something so grand. She rebuilt her peace, but not her silence. She founded a foundation to support black home ownership and expose discriminatory practices in the real estate industry across the nation. Her story sparked headlines, but it was never about revenge. It was about reclaiming dignity. Because the truth is, racism doesn't always shout. It often whispers, excludes, and assumes. How many more brilliant women like Aaliyah are made to prove they belong in spaces they already built? Where are you watching this from? Drop your country and city below, and share if this story moved you. Let's keep the conversation going. Take care.